Hi everyone, my name is Mallikarjun. Here I am going to solve recent MPSC solutions here. Okay. So, subject is structural analysis. Okay. So, from this subject almost we got 22 questions from structural analysis subject, okay, in recent MPSC exam. Okay. So, all questions are very easy questions, please, direct questions. Okay. Now, we will discuss one by one. Okay. Right. Now, question number 1. So, this is a question from kinematic indeterminacy chapter. Okay. So, here this is a given diagram. For this diagram he is asking find the kinematic indeterminacy of the following beam, okay, of the following beam after imposing boundary conditions. Okay. What is the meaning of boundary conditions? Boundary conditions are nothing but known values, yes or no. So, we discuss boundary conditions in slope deflection method chapter. Did you remember in slope deflection method chapter I given few steps, right? Okay. Step number 1, finding fixed end moments. Okay. Step number 2, I given boundary conditions. Okay. In slope deflection method chapter I explain in step number 2 boundary conditions. So, boundary conditions are nothing but known values. Okay. What are the known values? For example, fixed support, at the fixed support what is the slope? 0. So, it is the known value, right. So, it is boundary condition. Okay. Right. Now, for this diagram we will find the kinematic indeterminacy first with axial deformation. Okay. So, here considering imposing the boundary conditions means neglecting axial deformation. Okay. Right. Just all of you look at here. Right. So, at the fixed support how many degree of freedoms? At the fixed support degree of freedoms are 0, yes or no. Kinematic indeterminacy also called degree of freedom, right. Okay. So, your number of degree of freedoms are 0. Okay. And this is the internal hinge. Okay. At the internal hinge how many number of degree of freedoms? 4. What are the 4? Horizontal displacement, vertical displacement and rotation. I told at the pin joint rotation in all the members are different. Okay. So, rotation for left member, rotation for right member both are different, please here. Okay. So, at the internal hinge how many degree of freedom? 4. Okay. Then here this is the roller support, right. For roller supports how many degree of freedom? 2. One is horizontal, another one is rotation. Okay. Again here one more internal hinge is given. At the internal hinge how many degree of freedoms? 3. So, one horizontal displacement, second one vertical displacement and third and fourth are rotational displacements. Okay. And support C is hinged support. At the hinged support only 1 degree of freedom, it is theta. Okay. Right. Now, here there is a spring here. At the spring anyway 3 degree of freedoms here, horizontal, vertical, rotation. Okay. So, count it total how many? So, what is the notation for kinematic indeterminacy? dk, right. Okay. So, total count it here 4, 6, okay, 10, 11 and here total is 14. This is with axial deformation, right. With axial deformation. Now, we have to neglect the axial deformation. Find the kinematic indeterminacy neglecting axial deformation. So, with axial deformation is 14, right. Simply neglect the axial deformations. Okay. Deduct the axial deformations. So, here which displacements are axial deformation? Okay. So, this is parallel to the beam, this is the axial deformation, neglect it, and this is a parallel to the beam, neglect the axial deformation, and these are parallel to the beam, axial deformation, okay, and these are parallel to the beam, this is the axial deformation, okay. So how many axial deformations we are neglecting? 1, 2, 3, 4. Then this is 10, okay. So 10 is without axial deformation, okay. So which option is correct? Option C is correct, okay. Please note down. Right. Next question, direct, very simple question. In this question given fixed beam AB, okay, A is given constant, okay, and support concentrated load of 10 kilonewton. What is the fixed end moment at support A, okay, what is the fixed end moment at A he asking. So what is the formula please? This is a direct question, right? Here this moment here clockwise or anti-clockwise? Anti-clockwise. So anti-clockwise is negative, right? Yes or no? So what are the sign conventions we followed for fixed end movements? Clockwise movement is positive, anti-clockwise movement is negative, okay. So he asking to find the fixed end movement at support A. So we will get the direction of movement at A is anti-clockwise, then this is minus, yes or no. Then tell me, this point load, is it acting at the center? No, this is eccentric, right. Total span is given 5 meter and load given at distance 2 meter, that is eccentric load. So for eccentric load, what is the formula please? WA B square by L square, right. So this is the formula, okay. So here what is the W value given? 10. What is A here? A is equals to 2 meter and remaining distance B is equals to 3 meter, yes or no, right. What is A here? 2, B is 3 square and total span is given 5 square, okay. W A B square by L square. So this is the direct formula, right, okay. So if you solve this one, you will get this value, I think 4.2 kilonewton meter, okay, 4.2 kilonewton meter, okay. Just note down please. Right. Next question, right. So this is a question directly from class notes only, okay. Consider the following statement: sinking of an intermediate support of a continuous beam, okay, reduce the negative moment at the support, increase the negative moment at the support, reduce the positive moment at the center of span, increase the positive moment at the center of span, okay. Students, for example, so for example this is a continuous beam, okay, this is A, this is B and this is C, okay, right. In the question given sinking of intermediate support, okay, sinking of an intermediate support, right. Just look at here. So intermediate support treat as a fixed support, intermediate support treat as a fixed support. Now this is A, this is B and this is C, okay. So sinking of intermediate support, yes or no, okay, it is like this. Students, here there is a UDL, right. First mark the direction of movement due to only UDL, okay. So due to UDL, here movement is anti-clockwise and here movement is clockwise. Due to UDL, here movement is anti-clockwise, here movement is clockwise. So these are the direction of movements due to only UDL. Now we will mark the direction of movement due to settlement, sinking of support. Okay. So with respect to horizontal towards right support, rotation is clockwise, movement reaction is anti-clockwise. Here rotation is clockwise, movement reaction is anti-clockwise. Okay. Then here with respect to horizontal towards left support, rotation is anti-clockwise, movement reaction is clockwise. Here rotation is anti-clockwise, movement reaction is clockwise. Okay. So these white color movements are due to load UDL, okay, and this yellow color movements are due to sinking of support. Okay. Then students, if you find the net moment at B, okay, if you want to find the net moment at B, this moment is clockwise or anti-clockwise? Clockwise, and this moment anti-clockwise. Both are same direction or different direction? Both are different direction, right? Okay. So due to UDL movement is clockwise, due to sinking movement is anti-clockwise at the intermediate support. Okay. It means both movements are in different direction. If both movements are in different direction, then net movement increases or decreases? Net movement will decreases. Okay. It means movement at the intermediate support will reduce due to sinking of intermediate support. Okay. Because at B both movements are in opposite direction, due to loading clockwise, due to sinking this is anti-clockwise, these two movements please. Okay. So first one here students, and one more point, at the intermediate support we will get the hogging bending moment, and in center of span AB and BC, okay, in center of span AB and BC we will get the sagging bending moment. Okay, right. If you draw bending moment diagram for this case now, okay, just rough diagram. It may be more or less, okay, initially we do not know please, right, it is like this. Okay. Students, I do not know these values please, just I am assuming this ordinate both are same, it means movement at A, movement at B both are same, just I am considering please. Okay, right. Here my intention is not to find the movements at support A and support B. After knowing movement at support A and support B, then we can draw the exact shape of bending moment diagram. Okay. Just here I want to show at the intermediate support how the negative movement, and in the center of span AB and BC how the positive movement will develop. Okay. Then students, in the class I discussed this one. So only shaded portion is bending moment diagram, right? Okay, only shaded portion is bending moment diagram. Okay, then this is negative bending moment and this is positive bending moment, this is negative bending moment and this is positive bending moment, again this is negative bending moment. Okay, now this is the moment at A, this is the moment at B, this is the moment at C. Okay, so moment at B, positive moment or negative moment? Negative moment, and moment in midspan of AB and BC, positive bending moment. Okay, so students, negative movement will decrease na, both are different direction, but positive movement will increase please. Okay, so here reduce the negative movement at support, yes, option 1 is correct. Okay, so increase the negative movement, no, this is wrong. Okay, reduce the positive movement, no. Okay, increase the positive movement at center of span, yes, it is correct. Okay, so option 1 and 4 are correct, option 1 and 4 are correct, then option A is correct. Okay, so students, this is the direct question from class notes only. There I given one example also. We drawn bending moment diagram without support settlement with support settlement, and we compare both the values, right? Okay, right. Please note down. Right. Next question. Right. So this is also a direct question. Okay. So this is the propped cantilever beam subjected to eccentric point load, and he asked to find the moment at support A. Okay. So this is the direct formula, please. Okay. Option C is correct. Okay. Right. Next question. Sinking moment in a prismatic fixed beam, okay, whose one support yields by delta, okay, where L is length of the beam. Direct question from class notes only. Okay. So in moment distribution method chapter, I given fixed end moment formulas, right? In the fixed end moment formulas, I given this at the end. Okay. So given fixed beam yielding of support by an amount delta, and asking to find the what is the moment. Okay. So rotation is clockwise, moment reaction is anti-clockwise, rotation is clockwise, moment reaction is anti-clockwise. Okay. So where he asking sinking moment in a prismatic beam whose one support yields delta. Yes, what is the sinking moment asking, that is it. Okay. So students, if both supports are fixed supports, what is the sinking moment? If both supports are fixed supports, 6 EI delta by L square, 6 EI delta by L square, if both supports are fixed supports. Okay. Please note down. Then which option is correct? Option C is correct, 6 EI delta by L square. Next question. Okay, simple question. He asking to find the distribution factor for member BA. Okay. So how to find the distribution factor for member BA? Distribution factor for member BA equals to stiffness for member BA. Okay, which one is the first joint? B, right? Then total stiffness at joint B. Okay, at joint B, what the members are meeting? In this diagram, at joint B, what the members are meeting? BA plus BC. Then stiffness for member BA plus stiffness for member BC. For member BA, far end is fixed support, right? If far end is fixed support, what is the stiffness? 4 EI by L. What is the length given? 3 meter. I is given? I only. Then this is 4 EI by L, right? L is 3 meter plus stiffness for member BC. Far end is hinged support. What is the stiffness? If far end is hinged support, stiffness is 3 EI by L. So what is the length given? 3. So 3 EI by L. L is 3. Then 3 get cancelled. Then what is the total stiffness here? 7 EI by 3. Okay, 7 EI by 3. Just substitute in this formula. So distribution factor for member BA equals to, what is the stiffness for member BA? 4 EI by 3 divided by total stiffness is 7 EI by 3. Then this is 4 by 7. Okay. So option B is correct, 4 by 7. Okay. Note down please. Right. Next question. So this is the question from slope deflection method chapter. Okay. So pick up the correct option from the following for the beam shown in figure. Students, can you apply the boundary conditions? In slope deflection method chapter, step number 2, boundary conditions, right? Boundary conditions. Okay, what are the boundary conditions? Known values, right? Yes or no? Right. So what are the known values here? Slope at C, right? Okay, you are asking joint equilibrium equation, right? Not boundary condition. If you see the options, it is not boundary conditions. Joint equilibrium equations. Okay, this is I think step number 4, right? In slope deflection method chapter I given. Okay, after writing slope deflection equations, I given 4th step, that is joint equilibrium equations. Okay, students, I told how many equilibrium equations required, how to know? It depend upon number of unknowns, right? Okay, then how to know the number of unknowns? It is equals to kinematic indeterminacy, okay, but neglecting axial deformation. I told in analysis part always will find the kinematic indeterminacy neglecting axial deformation. Okay, now can you find the kinematic indeterminacy neglecting axial deformation? Neglecting axial deformation. Okay, so here one rotation, okay, here one rotation, and here degree of freedoms are 0. So degree of freedoms are total 2, right? What are the 2 here? Rotation at A and rotation at B. Now students, to find these 2 unknown force, okay, to find these 2 unknown values, we have to use the joint equilibrium equation, right? Okay, now first we will use the joint equilibrium equation to find the theta A. Okay, so here these 2 unknowns are rotations, right? If the unknowns are rotations, then we will use moment equilibrium equations. Okay, now first at A, in this diagram at A, what are the members are meeting? At A, what are the members are meeting? Only AB. Then here MAB equals to 0. Okay, then to find the second unknown, that is rotation at B. Okay, then in this diagram at B, what are the members are meeting? 2 members are meeting, right? That is BA, BC. So MBA plus MBC equals to 0. Now these are called joint equilibrium equations, right? Joint equilibrium equations. Okay, so which option is correct? MAB equals to 0. Yes, first one is correct. MAB equals to MBA, no. MBA plus MBC equals to 0. Then option 1 and moment at C is not 0 because support C is fixed support na, at the fixed support moment is not 0. Okay, so here 1 and 3 are correct. So which one is 1 and 3 are correct? Then option A is correct. Okay, please note down. Right. Next question. Okay, direct question. If far end is fixed of the beam, okay, the stiffness of the beam with usual notations. I given standard values. If far end is fixed support, what is the stiffness? 4 EI by L. If far end is hinged support, 3I by L. Yes or no? Okay. So given far end is fixed, he asking to find the stiffness. So this is 4 EI by L. Okay. Option B is correct. Far end is fixed support. Next question. If 3 members meet at a joint, okay, three members meet at a joint. The stiffness of member are K1, okay. For example, I will consider this the member 1, I will consider this the member 2 and this the member 3, okay. So, given stiffness for member 1 is EI, stiffness for member 2 given this is, I think this is EI, I think, right, this is EI. So, 2 EI and K3, I think this is also E, I think it is not K, and 1.5 EI, okay. So, he asking to find the distribution factor for member 1, okay, distribution factor for member 1. So, distribution factor for member 1, okay, equals to stiffness for member 1 divided by total stiffness, yes or no. So, here what is the stiffness for member 1 given EI divided by total stiffness, means we have to add this all stiffness. So, EI plus 2 EI plus 1.5 EI, okay. Then EI get cancelled, okay. Then what is the value, this is, so here 3 4.5, right, then this value get 2/9, check it please this value, okay, you will get 2/9, then option C is correct. Got on please. Right. Next question, this is a direct question only. Pick up the correct statement that corresponds to the moment distribution method, okay. Students, if you remember, this is the first question I given in moment distribution method chapter, okay. I given analysis of indeterminate, okay, beams without support settlement. This is the first question I given, okay. I given some value here, some 15 or 20 or 10 whatever, for example 10 kilonewton per meter, this I given 4 meter and this I given 3 meter, and here I think I given some 15 kilonewton, whatever it is, okay. So, here A, B, C, yes or no, okay. So, what is the step number 1, students? We have to find the distribution factor. After finding distribution factor, what is the step number 2? We have to find the fixed end moments, right, okay. Then students, to find the fixed end moments, we have to assume all supports are fixed supports, right, yes or no, we have to assume all supports are fixed, then we have to find the fixed end moments, okay. Then student, support A fixed support and B and C we have to assume fixed supports and we have to find the fixed end moments, okay. But actually support C is not a fixed support, right, okay. Support C is not a fixed support, but in step number 2 we are assuming fixed support, but in step number 3, that is moment distribution, in moment distribution we are releasing the momented support C or not, yes, we release the momented support C. How to release the momented support C? What is the moment we will get here, okay, we have to apply same magnitude but opposite direction, right, okay, same magnitude but opposite direction, okay. Then after releasing the momented support C, half of the movement will carry out to support B, right, intermediate support, same direction or different direction, same direction, okay. So, here unbalanced movement carry out to the other end of the member when the joint is released, yes, when the joint is released unbalanced moment carry out to the another support. Okay. So, this is correct. Okay. Then carrier moment has same sign as the distribution end moment. Yes, half of the moment will carry over same direction, right? Yes or no? Yes. So, both 1 and 2 are correct. Okay. So, your option A is correct, please. Both 1 and 2 are correct. Okay. Note down, please. Right. Next question. This is a question from Arches. Okay. And this is a direct question in your material. Okay. I think this is the classroom practice question number 1 in your material, I think. Okay. Right. So, if the central rise of a symmetrical parabolic arch is given 10 meter, rise h is given 10 meter, then the rise of arch at the quarter point. So, quarter point means this is L by 4. Okay. So, for parabolic arch given in formula 4hx by L square L minus x, right? Yes or no? This is the for parabolic arch. Okay. Then 4 into what is the rise given here? 10 meter, and x is given L by 4 divided by L square is given span. So, central rise given. Okay. Right. Then L minus L by 4. Okay. Then here square L square get cancelled, then solve it. After solving this you will get I think 7.5 meter. Then option C is correct. Okay. Note down. Right. Next question. Okay. Actually, this is the question from 2 hinged stiffening girder. Okay. So, this is the standard case. Okay. So, this is the suspension cable with 2 hinged stiffening girder. He was asked to draw ILD for horizontal thrust. Okay, ILD for horizontal thrust. Students, horizontal thrust value is same, right, everywhere. Yes, no, horizontal reaction value is same only, right. Okay. So, here this is the standard one, option D is correct. Okay. If you see everywhere ILD for horizontal thrust is same only, please, for 2 hinged stiffening girder, but value is it is L by 8H. Okay. This is L by 8H. Okay. These are the standard value, please. Okay. We can derive also this one. Okay. So, option D is correct. Okay. Right. Next question. Right. Actually, this concept we did not discuss in class, right, actually. Okay. Right. Just all of you look at here. He asking net horizontal force on the top of this tower and bending moment at the base of the tower. Okay. So, this is the base of the tower. Okay. This is the base and this is the top of the tower. Okay. First, he asking net horizontal force. Students, these are the rollers, right? Yes or no? For equilibrium condition, this horizontal force must be equal. Okay, for equilibrium condition. If it is not equal, then because of these rollers, then it is free to move in horizontal direction. It will become unstable structure, please. Okay. So, for equilibrium condition, left force is equals to right forces, right. Okay. Students, if you resolve in horizontal direction, this is Ts sin theta. Okay. Then if you resolve horizontal direction, this is TA sin theta. I told for equilibrium condition TA sin theta, TS sin theta both should be equal, please. If it is equal, then only it is in equilibrium condition. Okay. Then what is the net force, please? Here net horizontal force, okay, net horizontal force, for example right side positive, okay, just I am assuming right side is positive, this is TS sin theta, okay. For equilibrium condition TA sin theta equals to TS sin theta for equilibrium condition, okay. Then left I am taking negative TA sin theta, then here TS sin theta equals to TS sin theta, right. It means what is the net horizontal force you will get? Net horizontal force you will get 0. Okay. Then he asking to find the bending moment at the base. Okay. For example, this is the height of the pier, okay, just assume this is the height of the pier, right. Here just I will consider clockwise movement is positive, anti-clockwise movement is negative. I want to find the bending moment at the base of the pier, okay. Tell me this is clockwise or anti-clockwise? This is clockwise, positive, TS sin theta into H. Okay, and this force clockwise or anti-clockwise? Anti-clockwise minus TA sin theta. Okay, for equilibrium condition TA sin theta equals to TS sin theta, right. Okay, it means both values are okay. This multiply with H, right. Force into perpendicular distance, force into perpendicular distance. Then here TS sin theta, TS sin theta, both values are same only, then what is the bending moment at the base? You will get 0 only, okay. So here net horizontal force, that is FH is 0 and bending moment also 0, please. Then option D is correct, okay, please note down. Right, next question. So this is a question from ILD chapter. Okay, a truss of panel dimension, okay, is shown in figure. Influence line diagram for force in the member U2 U3, okay. He asking to find the ILD for member U2 and U3, okay. So U represent upper and L represent lower joint, right. Now these are the options given, so which option is correct? Okay. So anyway we have to find, so just we have to know the, this is the ordinate and this is the ordinate, okay. For example, this is the ordinate at joint U2, is it U2? Yes, this is U2 and this is L3, or you can say L2 L3, okay, L2 L3. This is through type or deck type, students, this truss? Okay, this truss is, it is a through type truss bridge, right. I explained two types of truss bridges, one is through type, another one is deck type. In through type truss bridge, where to place the unit load to draw ILD for axial force? We have to place the unit load at the bottom joints in case of through type truss bridge. In case of deck type truss bridge, to draw ILD for axial force, we have to place the load at the top joints. So this is the through type truss bridge, right. Then we have to place the unit load only at the bottom joints. Don't place the unit load at the top joints. Okay, right. So this is L2 and this is L3. Okay, L2, L3. Just in the options is given ordinate at a joint L2 at a joint L3 he asking. Okay. So how to find? Students, right. To draw ILD for axial force in member U2 and L3, okay, we have to use the method of section, right? Yes or no? We have to use the method of section. Then using method of section, we have to find the force in member U2 and L3, because he given ILD for axial force in member U2 and L3. Then to find the force in member U2 and L3, you can use method of joint, method of section, but method of joint is a time taking method, right? Yes or no? But method of section is a time effective method. Okay. So here we will prefer method of section. Now tell me students, to find the force in member U2 and L3, how to cut the structure? Okay. To cut the structure, you can cut the structure horizontally cut, vertically cut, incline cut, you can cut any shape, but two conditions must satisfy, right? What are the two conditions? First condition, section should pass through selected member. Selected member is in which member we have to find the force, and that member is selected member. And second condition, section should divide the entire structure into two separate parts, right? Left part, right part. Then we can do analysis either left part of the structure or right part of the structure, any one part you will get the same answer, but always will prefer which part has less forces, please, because if the forces are less, calculation part is less, then time also less, we can save the time in examination, please. Okay, right. Then how to cut the structure to find the force in member U2 and L3? Okay, just cut it vertical. Okay, you can do analysis for left part or right part, your wish. Okay, then students, there is a unit load moving from one end to another end at the bottom joints. Okay, when unit load moving from one end to another end. When unit load moves from one end to another end, okay, force in member U2 L3 will change. How the force is changing in member U2 and L3, that will know from ILD, please. Okay, right. Students, simple, select the joint, which one is the section left bottom joint? Which one is the section left bottom joint? L2, right. Now assume there is a unit load, okay, at L2, there is a unit load at L2. Then can you find the vertical reactions, please? Here this is nothing but a simply supported truss subjected to eccentric loading. Okay, simply supported truss subjected to eccentric loading, then vertical reaction is WB by L and your vertical reaction is WA by L. What is the value of W? W equals to 1, because we are applying unit load na, so here W equals to 1. Okay, W equals to 1, we are applying unit load. Okay, then what is the A value here? This is A value and remaining distance is B value. Okay, WB by L, right. Now what is the B value here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then this is 15 by 18. Total length is 18, right? Yes, 15, 3, 18. Then this is W A by L, W is 1 and what is A here? 3 and total is 18. Okay. Then students, to find the force in inclined member, I told preferable equilibrium equations, horizontal equilibrium equation, vertical equilibrium equation and moment equilibrium equation. First we will try with horizontal equilibrium equation. How many horizontal cut members are there? 1, 2, 3. It means horizontal equilibrium equation is not possible. Next we will try with vertical equilibrium equation. How many vertical cut members are there? Only one vertical cut member, then sigma v is possible. Then tell me, doing analysis for left part is better, right part is better. Okay, if you consider left part, reaction is there, load is there. If you consider right part, only reaction is there. So better do analysis for right part of the structure. Okay, right. Only for right part of the structure, use sigma v equals to 0, that is downward forces equals to upward forces. We are doing analysis for right part of the structure. Okay. So only for right part, then initially assume tensile forces only for right cut members please, only for right cut members. Then this is the theta. Okay. Then from this, what is cos theta here? Cos theta equals to 3 by 5 and sin theta equals to 4 by 5. Okay. Then use sigma v equals to 0. We are doing also only for right part now, consider only right part forces, do not consider left part forces. Okay. Then this vertical component upward or downward, vertical component upward, then force in member U2 L3. Okay. So vertical component is sin theta. Okay. So in right part of the structure only one upward force is there and this is also a upward, right? Yes, this is also upward plus 3 by 18 equals to, what are the downward forces only in right part of the structure? There is no downward forces equals to 0. Okay. Then from this equation, F U2 L3, okay, minus 3 by 18 into what is sin theta? 4 by 5, right? Okay. Then this is 5 by 4. So negative sign represent assumed direction is wrong. Okay, negative sign represent assumed direction is wrong. So it is not compression, it is, sorry, it is not tension, it is compression. Then force in member U2 L3 equals to 3 by 18 into 5 by 4, this is compression. Okay. Right. Just note down please. So any possibility of selecting answer directly? When unit load at a joint L2, what is the ordinate? 3 by 18 into 5 by 4 compression, right? 3 by 18 into 5 by 4 compression. So here compression. So is it possible to select? So this is the tension given, right? Then the option B is wrong, option D is wrong. Okay. Then only possibility is either option A or option C. Okay. Because we got compression 3 by 18 into 5 by 4. Compression 3 by 18 into 5 by 4, compression 3 by 18 into 5 by 4. Yes, C represent compression, T represent tension. Okay. So anyway, we have to find the ordinate at joint L3 also please. Okay, but these two are wrong because here given tension given 3 by 18 5 by 4, here tension given 3 by 18 4 by 5. Okay, so we got 5 by 4 5 by 4, right. 3 by 18 5 by 4, 12.8 into 5 by 4. Okay, we will check it, right. Anyway, now we will place the unit load section right joint. Which one is the section right joint? L3. Okay, now we will place the unit load at a joint L3. Okay, again find the reactions. So, we will cut the structure like this. Okay, we will do analysis for left part of the structure with respect to horizontal, this is theta. Okay, so what is the reaction here please? What is the reaction RA? Okay, now what is the B value please? Now this is the B. Okay, so what is the B? 1 2 3 4, then 12 by 18, B by L, right. W is 1, WB by L. Okay, then we will do analysis for left part of the structure. Okay, so here if you do analysis for right part na, load is there in right part, then waste of time. Okay, so better do analysis for left part. Then sigma V equals to 0, downward forces equals to upward forces, then this is the, we are doing analysis for left part of the structure, then consider only left part forces, do not consider right part forces. Okay. So, in the left part the initially assumed tensile forces, right, then this is vertical component cos theta or sin theta. So, F U2 L3 sin theta, okay, this is downward and this is upward, right, 12 by 18. Okay. So, what is sin theta we got? Sin theta is nothing but 4 by 5, right. Okay. Sin theta is 4 by 5. Then from this equation, what is the force in member U2 and L3? 12 by 18 into 5 by 4. Okay. So, we got positive, then assumed direction is correct. Initially we assume tension, right. So, it is tension only. Okay. So, which option is correct? Tension 12 by 18 5 by 4, right. Is it 5 by 4? Yes, 12 by 18 5 by 4. Okay. Then option A is correct, tension 12 by 18 5 by 4. Clear this everyone? Okay. Please note down. Right. Next question. Okay. This is also a direct question. Which principle can be used to obtain general shape of influence line? Okay. So, which case? Using Muller-Breslau principle, we will draw the qualitative ILD for both statically determinate and indeterminate structure, right. Okay. Then option B is correct. Right. This is directly from class notes. Okay. So, in class notes same values I given, here given 4 meter 4 meter, okay. Here I given 8 meter. Okay. Did you remember or not, I do not know. In classroom notes I given this is 8 meter, just in place of 8 meter I given 4 meter. Okay. Options also given same place. Okay. So, we got I think option B actually in class notes. Okay. But here value is changed na, this is not 8 meter, it is 4 meter, then we have to find a place. Okay. There I given one trick. Okay. So, what is the hint I given? If you see here in option A 3i by 3i 3ei 2ei 3i 2ei 3i 2ei 3i 2ei, in this it means in all the option k11 k22 values are same, yes or no, k11 k22 values are same. Then students, no need to generate the stiffness coefficient k11 k22, okay. Only thing is we have to find the k12 k21, but I told properties of stiffness matrix, okay. Matrix must be symmetric, right, that is nothing but k12 equals to k21, okay, k12 equals to k21, okay. This is a symmetric matrix, properties I given, k12 equals to k21. Then here these both are same, these both are same, okay, these both are same and these both are same, yes or no. Then find any one, okay, either find k12 or 21, one is sufficient please, okay, right. For example, we will find k21, you can find k12 or k21 whatever it is please, you will get the same value only, okay, right. So, what these two represent? What the definition of stiffness? Stiffness is force required for unit displacement, right. It means first one is force, second one is displacement, okay. So, where to apply unit displacement? We have to apply unit displacement along coordinate 1 and we have to find the force at coordinate 2, okay. Apply unit displacement at coordinate 1 and find the force at coordinate 2. But students, I told initially wherever degree of freedoms are given, we have to lock all the given degree of freedoms, right. Yes, we have to lock all the given degree of freedoms. So, wherever degree of freedoms are given, first log the given degree of freedoms. For example, this is A, B, this is C and this is D. So, log all the given degree of freedoms. So, now this is B, this is C, this is A and this is D, okay. So, students, to generate the first column of stiffness matrix, right, this one k1, k11, k21, k31, these are first column of stiffness matrix, okay. Then which degree of freedom we have to release? We have to apply unit displacement at coordinate 1, right, okay. Which one is the coordinate 1? Coordinate 1 is rotation at B, then release the rotation at B. It means this is free to rotate, this is free to rotate, clockwise rotation or anti-clockwise rotation. If given this is clockwise na, then this is free to rotate in clockwise direction. It means we are releasing the rotation only at support B. Now it is like this, okay. So, this is the, check it, rotation at B clockwise or not. Why we are releasing clockwise rotation? Because in the question given rotation at B is clockwise, that is coordinate 1 is clockwise. This coordinate 1, coordinate 2 are degree of freedoms please, okay, right. Then students, when this support rotate in clockwise direction, when support rotate in clockwise direction, if I apply movement in clockwise direction, then only this support rotate in clockwise direction, okay. Just I will draw the separate diagram. So, this is A, this is B, so this is C, yes, clockwise, okay, rotation at B is clockwise. So, if I apply clockwise movement, then only it will rotate in clockwise direction, okay. Tell me, for member AB given 2i and 4 meter, right, far end is fixed support, how much movement required? If far end is fixed support, how much movement required to get the unit rotation? 4 EI by L, right, okay. 4 EI is, I is given 2I by 4, it means this is 2I, okay, 2 EI, okay, 2 EI, 4 EI by L, right. Okay. Then similarly, for end is fixed support, how much movement required to get the unit rotation? 4 EI by L only, okay. 4 I is given, I only, and what the span given? 4, then this is EI, okay, right. Then for end is fixed support, how much movement will carry over? Half of the movement will carry over, right, same direction. So 4 get cancelled, what is the half of the movement? Same direction, clockwise, clockwise, EI by 2, half of the movement will carry over, right, yes or no, right. Now we applied unit rotation at B and we have to find the force at coordinate 2, right. What is coordinate 2? What is coordinate 2? Coordinate 2 is rotation at C. If it is rotation at C, right, then what is the movement at C? What is the movement at C? Movement at C is EI by 2, okay. Then sign convention, rotation at C is clockwise, movement at C also clockwise, so both are same direction. If both are same direction, then it is positive, okay. So which option is correct? Here option D is correct, okay. Right, please note down. Right, next question. Right, this is also a direct question from ACE material only, classroom practice question, okay. He given stiffness matrix and he asking to develop the flexibility matrix. What is the relation between stiffness and flexibility? Inversely proportional, right, okay. Relation between stiffness and flexibility inverse. So here flexibility, now this is the stiffness matrix is given, this is K, okay. First this outer part inverse it, only outer part, then this is L by 2 EI into 1 by AD minus BC, then this is D minus B minus C and this is A, right, yes or no, inverse. So here this 2 is A and 1 is B and this is C and this is D, okay, right. What is AD minus BC? AD 4, BC 1, then 4 minus 1 3, right, then 3 into 2 6, then L by 6 EI. What is D? 2 minus 1 2, then this is the flexibility, okay. So which option is correct? L by 6 EI. So this is 2A wrong and this 3A wrong, okay. So this is 2 minus 1, option C is correct, okay. Note down please. Right. This also we already solved in class notes, okay. Just consider this is the L, okay. Then this is A and this is B, okay. Students, he asking to generate the flexibility matrix. If it is flexibility matrix, what are the unknowns? Redundant forces are unknowns, right, in flexibility matrix. Now this coordinate 1 and coordinate 2 are forces, because this is flexibility matrix, right. If it is stiffness matrix, coordinate 1, coordinate 2 are displacements, kinematic indeterminacy, okay. But here coordinate 1, coordinate 2 are forces, because in flexibility matrix what are the unknowns? Forces are treated as unknowns, okay, right. And he asking to generate the flexibility matrix. Then F equals to F11, F21, F12, F22. Now this is the flexibility matrix, right. So, how many coordinates are given? Coordinate 1, coordinate 2. So, 2 coordinates are given, right, then size of flexibility matrix is 2 by 2. If 3 coordinates are given, then size of flexibility matrix is 3 by 3. Okay, right. Now, here what is the definition of flexibility matrix? Displacement caused due to unit force. Stiffness is force required for unit displacement, but flexibility is displacement caused due to unit force. It means first one is displacement, second one force. First one displacement, second one force. First one displacement, second one force. Displacement, force. Displacement, force. Okay, right. Any possibility of eliminating options? So, 64, this is 8 by I. Right. Students, if you observe in this direction, in these options, 8 by EI, okay, this is nothing but F12 equals to F21, 8 by EI, 8 by EI, okay, 8 by EI, 8 by EI, minus 8 by EI, minus 8 by EI, and 8 by EI, 8 by EI. Okay. So, no need to find the F12, F21, but we need sign convention please, because in one option is given minus minus. So, here 64 by 3i, 64 by 3i, 64 by 3i, 64 by 3i. It means students, no need to find the K11. If you find the F11, if you find the F11, we can't select the option, because F11 values in all the options are same, right. 64 by 3i, 64 by 3i, 64 by 3i, 64 by 3i. So, waste of time. Okay. Next, so here F22 values, is it same? No, F22 values are different. Okay. But anyway, we have to find the 1 2 or 2 1, because we need sign, right. Here sign minus minus, okay, but here plus plus. It means find F22 compulsory we have to find, okay, and either F12 or F21. Just will generate the second column of flexibility matrix sufficient. Directly we can select the answer, okay, because F11 values are same in all the options, okay. Then F21 equals to F12, right, yes or no, then we need F22, right, then we will generate the second column of flexibility matrix, okay, right. So, what is the second column of flexibility matrix? Right, students, we will apply unit force only at coordinate 2, okay, F2, F2. Which one is second coordinate? Movement, okay, clockwise or anti-clockwise? Clockwise. So, how much movement will apply? Unit movement. This is A and this is B. Apply unit movement. Okay. Then movement is clockwise, it will deflect like this. Okay. Then find the deflection at B and find the rotation at B. Students, this is cantilever beam subjected to movement at the free end, right. Okay. What is the standard deflection slope formulas please? Slope at B, deflection at B, this is ml by EI and this is ml square by 2EI. These are the standard deflection formulas, right, slope and deflection. Okay. But how much movement you are applying? Unit movement, then m equals to 1, then this is L by EI, then this is L square by 2EI. Okay. Then F12, F22. Okay. We apply unit force at coordinate 2, right. Now, we have to find the displacement at coordinate 1 and at coordinate 2. Okay. So, what is coordinate 1? coordinate 1 is vertical force at B, okay, vertical force at B. What is the vertical deflection at B? It is delta B. Then sign convention, vertical coordinate 1 is downward, deflection also downward, both are same direction, positive. Yes or no? So, we are applied unit force at coordinate 2, we are finding displacement at coordinate 1. So, what is coordinate 1? Vertical force at B, then in this diagram vertical deflection at B, okay. Then vertical force is downward, arrow mark downward, vertical deflection also downward. So, both are same direction, positive. So, what is the deflection at B? This is positive, L square by 2EI, okay. Then what is coordinate 2? Moment at B. If it is moment at B, slope at B here, slope at B. Then sign convention, here moment is given clockwise, rotation also clockwise, both are same direction, positive. So, what is the slope at B please? L by EI, right? Okay, L by EI, but length is given 4 meter, right? Then this is 4 by EI. So, F22 is 4 by EI. So, directly you can select, right? Yes or no? In which option F22 is 4 by EI? So, this is not 4 by EI, not 4 by EI. Yes, this is the 4 by EI, right? Then option D is correct. Okay, only in option D it is 4 by EI is there. Okay, then can you find this one please? 4 then this is 8 by EI. Okay, right, note down please. Right. Next question, this is the direct question. What are properties of flexibility matrix and stiffness matrix? Okay. So, students, properties of stiffness matrix and flexibility matrix both are same, right? What is the first property I given? What is the first property? Stiffness matrix is or flexibility matrix. Okay, matrix is a square matrix, 3 by 3 size of matrix, 3 by 3, 4 by 4, this is the square matrix. And second property is matrix is a symmetric, that is K12 equals to K21 or F12 equals to F21, yes or no, symmetric matrix. Okay. And third property, all the diagonal elements are always positive. Okay, nothing but leading diagonal values are always positive, nothing but F11, F22, F33 or K11, K22, K33 always positive only. Okay, right. And one more property I given, stiffness matrix or flexibility matrix developed for stable structures. Okay, right. Now here given the elements of main diagonal always positive, that is K11, K22, F12, F11, F22, F33 always positive. Okay. Of a matrix must be negative, no. Okay. Stiffness matrix must be positive, yes, and flexibility matrix must be positive, yes, and it is negative. He asking here element of main diagonal please, nothing but K11, K22, K33 or F11, F22, F33. Now these are the main diagonal, these are always positive only. Okay. So which option is correct? Positive, positive, then B and C are correct. Acha, given options I think this is 1, this is 2, this is 3 and this is 4. Okay. So here 2 and 3 are correct, then option C is correct. Okay. Please note down. right, direct. Flexibility matrix method of analysis is basically force method, right, yes or no. Stiffness matrix method also called, stiffness matrix method also called displacement method, and flexibility matrix method also called force method. Okay. Right, last question. In the frame shown in the figure, if lateral sway of BC is delta, this is actually analysis of sway frame. Right. Okay. Right. For example, due to load, right. Okay. So, this is B dash and this is C dash and this is C double dash. Okay. And the question given, lateral sway of BC is delta. Okay. This is delta. Okay. So, this is the sway, right, yes or no, delta is nothing but sway. Then this is at B. Okay. Then what is the sway at C asking? It means this is the sway at a joint C. So, you are asking this value delta C. Okay. And sway in both the columns are same, right, then this is delta. Then if it is delta B and this is so this is given delta, right, this is the delta, and if it is delta then this is also delta. Okay. Just I will draw this triangle separately, it is like this. So, this is delta C, this is delta. Okay. Right, and he asking to find this value delta C. Okay. And with respect to horizontal, if it is theta, then this is theta. Okay. Right. Then from this triangle, can you find this one please? How to find this? Cos theta equals to delta by delta C. Okay. Then here delta C equals to delta by cos theta. Okay. Then what is the value here? Okay. Then option D is correct. Okay. Please note down. Okay. So, these are the questions as asked in recent MPSC exam. Okay. So, almost 22 questions are given, right. Out of 22 questions, 20 questions directly from class notes only. Okay. Only this question and that one peer question, only these two questions I did not discuss in class, because these are behind your syllabus actually, but anyway it was asked in your exam. Okay.